Hello! Welcome to my channel. All shiny and new. I thought I'd just shoot a first awkward video to tell you guys what to expect from this channel. In my experience of teaching, the first day of the class was always the most awkward, before really building up a rapport, knowing what I'm going to be like, what you guys are going to be like. So consider this the first day of class, if you will. The syllabus is found online in the description box. Anyways, okay, so this channel. First and foremost, I think this is going to be a science channel. I love science. So personally, I'm in psychology, cognitive psychology. I'll talk about that in probably the next video. But things I want to emphasize are what exactly science is. What can we do with science? What's the process like? How would you go about sciencing if you wanted to do that? So planning a couple videos on like applying to grad school, future video, what grad school is actually like, future video, how to handle your thesis, future video, things like that. Another aim of this channel is to explore psychology. So, as I said, my background is in cognitive psychology. I don't know if I mentioned I have a PhD. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about what exactly psychology is, differences between different fields of psychology, future video. I'm also going to kind of talk about things you might see in an undergraduate or graduate course in psychology. So starting probably with like intro psych, cognitive psych, and then branching out from there. Going to start with the topics I find the most interesting and then go sort of in depth the rest of them. I should mention I tried having a channel right before the adpocalypse hit. So I'm planning on recycling those videos onto this channel. The format was a bit different, and I'll talk later about why I ended up shifting to being a talking head basically instead of what I was doing later, but it's a little bit different format, just forewarned. I'm also planning on going through science-y books, starting in psychology, some books I read in undergrad or grad school that I think were really interesting and useful, so look forward to those as well. Also planning on breaking down some papers, the big influential ones for psychology, new ones outside of psychology. I'm married to a physicist, so I can tap him for some things, because physics is not my strong suit, but you know, it's a side hobby, side passion. So yeah. I'm also planning on devoting some time to talking about academic life. My husband and I were both first-generation college students, let alone, PhD program people. So we did a lot of reinventing the wheel that we probably didn't need to. If someone had told us some of the things to expect or do or situations we might encounter, it probably would have saved us, especially me, a lot of grief and a lot of stress, and I've learned a bit. I am a lady in my mid-30s. I've learned some stuff, and I'd like to pass that knowledge on to you guys to hopefully make your life a little bit easier, make informed decisions, stuff like that. Finally, I want to bring in a bunch of different topics that I'm interested in. So things like mental health, atheism, gaming, these sorts of things, and their impact on my life, and also what we know about them in terms of research. Certainly more true for some of my interests than others, like gaming. Certainly there's a lot of research out there on it. And I think it's important to talk about the research that is out there, what it says, what biases there are. And yeah, I'm wearing my street cred sweater here for gaming. So yeah, that is basically the brief overview for what you can look for on this channel. So like intro psych sort of topics, academic life topics, book reviews, paper reviews, and then intersections with some of the other topics. Okay, so if you just want to know about the channel, there it is. I will tell you a little bit more about myself here, just to sort of get out of the way so you know a little bit more about me and why I'm doing this. So I've got notes. This is how I roll, Eddie Izzard style. I have talking points, and then I ramble about them. This is how I did my lectures too. But I got teaching awards, so somebody liked my style. Anyways, so I have a cognitive psych PhD, as I mentioned, but I'm definitely not on your typical career path. Future video. Part of that is because I am in a dual PhD relationship and am what's known as a trailing spouse. Future video. But yeah, so I want to share some of the difficulties of being an academic and also leaving the traditional career path for that, and difficulties I've encountered, good things that have happened, that sort of stuff. Another thing I want to do with this channel is talk a bit about sort of intersections in experience. So I have invisible minority status on a couple things, so I'm an atheist. Looking at me, you might not peg me for that, so invisible, and certainly not the majority religious identification in this country. And so I think that has impacted my career in a couple places in weird ways that I would like to bring awareness to. I also have bipolar disorder, general anxiety disorder, a little bit of OCD, and some other stuff, because a lot of these things are comorbid. Talk about that separately. But mental health is important to me, and talking about issues related to that and impacts it's had on my education and career and personal life and all of that stuff. I just want to destigmatize mental illness some, raise awareness about some of the issues, that sort of stuff. Also, I am a gamer. That is how I spend a lot of time playing different video games. And I think being able to break down what we know from research on gaming, the effects of gaming, violent video games and the effects it has on people, going in, looking at the papers, who funded these papers, who did the papers, the findings of these papers, I think is really important to understand as a gamer, to be able to say, this hobby either is potentially dangerous, isn't dangerous, and be able to make an educated argument about a contentious hobby. Finally, this video has gone through many iterations, so hopefully this one will be the one that makes it online. Shooting video has been in a little bit of a learning curve, especially trying to make sure I don't look like a corpse propped in front of the camera, because I am pale. I actually saw the most amount of sun I've seen in quite some time just this past week doing some gardening stuff. So yeah, so trying to get the lighting right, get things on my face right, because I definitely have a face for radio, but that's okay. Trying to make it as palatable as I can for you guys, and hopefully that's not an abject failure. So anyways, before I ramble on further, that's it for this first video. I promise the awkwardness will go down in the future. Like I said, it's the first day of class, just getting stuff out, feeling it out, and yeah. Before I forget, call to action. So if you're interested in what I'm potentially doing, subscribe to the channel, like this video for some reason, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Oh. I'm learning, remembering.